Hello everyone, and welcome to the Rabe CReations Flosstube episode number 3. So, it's been 2 weeks since I last recorded a Flosstube. I'm right on schedule. I just wanted to say hello to all of my returning subscribers. It is so nice to see you again. And to all of the new subscribers, welcome. I'm glad you've stopped by and decided to spend some time with me. And if you are brand new and haven't hit that subscribe button yet, and you do like what you see, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if everybody would give it a thumbs up, that would be even better. So the world has gone crazy and we're stitching along. I sure hope you all are safe and healthy wherever you're at, that you're following the advice of your local health agencies, that you're practicing social or physical distancing, depending on what they're calling it where you live, that you're washing your hands, that you're staying home. Just stay home. Just stay home. Yeah, just stay home. Unless you have to do something, just stay home. Yeah, but this is a Flosstube where we should be speaking about stitching. So let's talk about stitching and not the crazy world that we live in right now. So I do have a few exciting things to show you today. I didn't work on as many pieces over the past 2 weeks, but I got a lot of progress done on a couple of pieces. I have a finish. I have some new starts. It's been fun. So let's jump right into it, and we'll start out with my finish. So my finish is this little itty bitty small. That was I started this one because I needed, excuse me for reaching around, as usual, I don't have anything to put in behind it. So I started this one, and that's not a good thing to put behind it. Oh well, here we go. I started this one because I needed some blue for a challenge in the School of Magical Stitches. I have to say, I have fallen off the wagon of School of Magical Stitches for the past couple of weeks. I don't know why. I don't, not this week's challenges, but last week's challenges, I read them and they almost demotivated me. And at that point, I knew it was time to step away for a little while. I'll be back. Just for right now, maybe with everything going on, having stitching deadlines was just not something that I was happy with. So I have sort of backed away from the School of Magical Stitches for the moment. I'm still tracking all my stitches and I'm still counting my stitches. I'm just not necessarily following the prompts at the moment. As I said, I will probably go back. All right, well, that was a bit of a rabbit hole. So anyway, I did start this one because I needed some blue for one of the Magical Stitches challenges that came up. And this was such a small and so much fun to work on that I figured I might as well just complete it. So it is a finished stitch. Obviously, it's not a fully finished object. That will likely come next Flosstube. So this is a design by Marjolein Bastin. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I probably am not. And I did find this pattern in a Cross Stitch for All Seasons magazine from 2002. So it's an old pattern, an old magazine. And there are actually 4 in this series. This is the summer. There's a spring and autumn and a winter as well, which I probably will end up doing all of them at some point. I just love how tiny and delicate this is. So the changes that I made, look at that little bumblebee. Can you even? That has got to be my favoriteest little bumblebee ever so far. The changes that I made, I just used floss that I had. So the floss colors are not accurate to what was charted. And the back stitching. So I actually don't mind doing back stitching. And as you can see, the little frame is backstitched in the green, and the bumblebee had black backstitching on him. These little twigs had brown backstitching. Now, the backstitching that was within the flower and within the butterfly and whatnot, were different colors. And I started out on the flower doing the color called for, and it didn't show up. It didn't do anything. And to me, backstitching is what makes it pop. And interestingly enough, when I looked at the photograph of this piece finished in the magazine, the backstitching was not done in colors. It was done in black. So I also went through and did most of the back stitching in black, and I'm really pleased with how this turned out. So I am planning to finish this off as a tiny little pillow, and it will go in my Easter display once I have it all put together. And I'll take a picture and show you when it's all together. So there's that one there. And that is, of course, my little finish. Didn't take very many stitches. I think I only put 120 stitches in, and that included back stitches. And back stitches, I count 1 stitch for every 2 back stitches. So it was only about 120 stitches all told. So that is my little finish. Let me see. I have a new start to show you. And I put 364 stitches into this. And it's Who's There by Prairie Schooler. So this was a 1, 2, 3 stitch order, and there is the pattern there. So it is a cute little pattern. I saw Andrea from Andrea's Cautionary Tales, I believe it's called, working on this one, and I really liked it. There are some others that I believe are part of this same collection, and I'm planning to work 4 of them on one piece, sort of to make it into a bigger piece. So with this, I have chosen to work on 32 count lamb's wool linen, which is the called for fabric. And as you can see, I did the frame, and I'm pleased to say that this frame met up first time. So I was very pleased with that. So yes, I'm working on the 32 count lamb's wool linen, and that's the called for fabric. And as you can see where it fits here, I will be able to fit the other 4 panels very, very nicely to make one large picture out of it. And I think it's going to look really, really cool. So I was able to put 364 stitches into this. So as I said, this is the called for fabric, but I am substituting floss colors. So it was charted in DMC floss, but I didn't have the floss colors it was charted in. And in respect to social distancing and only going out for what I absolutely need, I decided to dive on into my floss stash and come up with, it's only 3 colors, so I came up with my 3 colors to use. And here they are here. So I'm using DMC 3883 as the orange, DMC 3882 as the brown, and 310 for the black. So all together, I think that will be a nice little palette for the design. So it's the same colors as was charted, just my own interpretation of those 3 colors, the orange, the brown, and the black. And I'm quite pleased with how that's coming along. I have to tell you, this linen is amazing to work with. So it is a little bit stiff, a lot stiffer than the linen that I have used in the past. But the weave is incredibly even, no real big slugs or sluds or whatever you call them of material. So it's easy to work with, very easy to see the holes, even at a 32 count. And I'm using 2 strands over 2. Yeah, I would actually recommend this linen for Ada stitchers who are looking to try out a linen. This may be a good gateway linen, so to speak, a gateway fabric into the world of linen for people who are used to stitching on Ada. Give it a shot. I really like this. All right, so next up is my only other whip that I worked on this week, or over the past 2 weeks, is Ye Olde Coffee House. And I've shown this to you before. So it is a pattern out of Just Cross Stitch magazine, but it's an old one. It is, I'm looking for the front of the magazine. It is June 2004, and that is the finished stitch. And as I said, it is a Little House Needleworks design. I am working it on 16 count Aida that I have hand dyed myself. And I only put 197 stitches into this, but that was mainly the words and this little bit of a detailing going on down here, this little bit of banner that's coming in. So I am still really, really pleased with how this one is working up. And I have the perfect place to put this when it's finished in my dining room. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. And I'm going to finish this as a framed piece. So as I said, that's on 16 count hand dyed Aida by me, hand dyed by me. And yeah, quite happy with how this is working out. So what else have I worked on? The project that I worked on most this week that I put over, let me see, where is it here? I have everything written down. I put over 4,000 stitches into this piece over the past 2 weeks. So that is definitely where the majority of my stitchy time went. I am going to step away for 1 second, make sure I am not running out of space on my camera. My camera only lets me record for, I think it's 19 minutes at a time. And then I have to re-hit the record button, so I don't want to run out. So let me double check that for you, and I will be right back. So apparently I was being overly optimistic with how much I have shown you so far. And yeah, I have plenty of room. So continuing on to the project, as I said, that I spent the most time on in the past 2 weeks. And this is something you haven't seen before. It is something no one has seen before because it is a new design. So I contemplated not showing this to you, but I'll show it because I will plan to release the pattern before we speak again. So I'll show it to you where it's at right now, and then I will show you the finished piece. If you'd like to see progress on this piece in between episodes of Flosstube, then by all means follow me on Instagram. That's usually where I am most active when it comes to the social media platforms. So feel free to follow me on that platform, and that is Nicole_Rabe CReations. And yeah, I'm gonna add the link down below like I always do as well. But here it is. So I'm calling this piece Easter Bands, and here is where it's at so far. So I am really, really happy with how this is working out. It starts out with this band across the top in green with little pink flowers. And then it has this middle piece here that's got Easter in purple, and then these 4 little yellow bunnies wearing bows, of course. The yellow that I'm using here almost reminds me of Peeps, those marshmallow treats. So I really like that yellow, and I think the yellow and the pink together is just amazing. So then it's got this next band of green with yellow flowers. And now you can see I am working on a band of Easter eggs. So some brightly dyed Easter eggs. This entire chart uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. So it's all just done in 5 colors, and it's all charted in DMC. So it has these 2 eggs, this partial egg. There'll be 3 additional eggs here, and then a final band of green down here. And of course, there will be a crow somewhere in the design because Rabe CReations. So there has to be a crow in there somewhere. So as I said, this is my newest design that I've been working on. I'm working it up on 16 count white Aida. Of course, you could work it on any count you'd like and on any fabric you'd like. And as I said, I am hoping to have this pattern released in my Etsy shop on April the 1st. So yeah, there it is. I'm quite pleased with this. I really like how the eggs have turned out. I like that egg shape very, very much. The little bunnies, I am really pleased with. I'm just really pleased with the whole thing. I think it's very spring. It's very fresh. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think down below. So yeah, that is my newest design that I am coming up with. And as I said, it's going to be listed in my Etsy shop on April the 1st. If you are interested in seeing any of my other designs, they are on my Etsy page. I also have some hand-dyed Ada fabric in there. And then, of course, in my other life, where I do crochet, I have lots of crochet patterns, as well as hand-dyed yarn, hand-dyed wool in there as well. So by all means, go check it out, see what you think. And again, the link is down below. So this apparently is going to be a really, really short episode, but that's okay, because you know, with everybody being locked up in their homes, so to speak, there's a whole lot of Flosstube going on out there, a whole lot of YouTube in general. And I don't know about you, but I've really been enjoying sort of breaking up the news broadcasts that I can sometimes get a little obsessive about watching. So it's nice to break them up with some Flosstube or some crochet videos, or, you know, something other than the news. So I don't mind having lots of shorter episodes to watch to keep me inspired and just to keep that feeling of connection. So the last thing I have to talk to you about is a little bit of an addition to my stash. I don't want to call it haul because I didn't purchase it. It was a lovely gift. I got this, I won it actually from another Flosstuber. If you haven't had a chance to watch the Patchy pony, please do. It is very, very interesting to me to be able to watch YouTubers, in this case a Flosstuber, from all over the world. And the Patchy pony comes from Tasmania, and that to me is just such an exotic thing. I've never been to Australia or any of those areas, and yeah, it's a dream. I think it would be amazing. And yeah, so the Patchy pony, I will link that down below as well. So I entered and won a contest, a giveaway, and it was for this chart called Welcome Spring. And it is by Little House Needlework. Cute little chart. With a cute little sheep on here. So it sort of plays both with my love of wool in my crochet world and my love of cross stitch. So it's a good merging of my two crafty passions. It is charted in Classic Colorworks and DMC. Chances are right now I may be able to get some specialty threads for it, but I would like to start this spring. I don't have a lot of spring decor, so I'm trying to build up my spring decor collection. And it doesn't look like it would be a terribly long project. It looks like it would go pretty quick. Fabric suggestions are 28 or 32 count cream linen or 14 or 16 count cream Ada. I would probably work it on 16, if not an 18 count Ada. Yeah, it's really quite cute. So I look forward to working on that. And she did throw in a couple of little extra goodies that I'd like to show you. So a needle minder. I don't know if you can see that. I will take pictures of everything, but this is Whoo from Aladdin. Oops, had a brain moment there. So a little needle minder, and I've had to stop myself from consuming this, but a a tea bag, and it's called Australian Afternoon, brisk and full-bodied, and it looks like it's a black tea. I am a tea drinker. Well, I'm a tea and a coffee drinker, but I do enjoy a nice cup of tea. And I've been resisting trying this until I could show it to y'all. So now I can have a cup of Australian tea, and that's very exciting. So yeah, that's that. There was a nice little note in there too, but I'll keep that for myself. So that's all I've got. I spent so much time working on the Easter bands piece that I didn't work on a whole lot of other things, but that's okay. It's almost done. It'll be ready for release on the 1st, and then I'll have lots of stitchy time for all of my other projects. So I am going to leave you there. I am going to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hitting that like button and the subscribe button if you so choose. And I'd like to end with a little bit of a request. Please take some time to reach out to each other right now. Even those of us who haven't really noticed a whole lot of lifestyle changes with the lockdown because we are seriously introverted people to begin with. I'm talking about me here. Even I'm starting to feel a little bit antsy. And I think that could have a lot to do with I'm not choosing to be at home. I feel like I am being told I have to be at home. So the way I'm looking at it is if I'm having a little bit of a struggle with this as a self-professed introvert, I can only imagine how the extroverts among us must feel. This is going to be really, really hard on a lot of people. So I would like to take this moment to ask you to please reach out. Reach out to those extroverts in your life, because chances are they're not doing okay. They're going to need a little bit of extra. To all of you watching the video or watching other YouTubers or Flosstubers, whatever you may be doing, whatever you may be watching, take the time to comment. That connection to another person. Now, I know right now I'm speaking to a camera, but when I get a comment in my comment section, it really drives home to me that someone gets this message. Someone watched what I had to say. There's someone out there. Take the time to comment on people's videos. For those of you out there who are producing videos yourself, I know that life can be really hectic, and sometimes, we run out of time to do the things we want to do. But I would request that you give a little bit more priority to answering comments on your videos. Again, you may be someone's lifeline. You may be that person that someone is reaching out to, who is feeling really, really lonely. And just by answering their comment, it reinforces to them that there is someone out there, that, that the connections can be made. Even in a time of lockdown, we can still connect. We are blessed to be living in a time that we are, where we have the ability through technology to reach out to people without having to leave our homes. Can you imagine if this was happening and we didn't have that ability? It would be 10 times as hard. To everybody who is staying home, thank you. To everybody who is out there because you are a frontline worker, whether that be grocery store employees, doctors, nurses, those who are working in our airports. If you are out there because you have to be, thank you. If you're keeping those grocery store shelves full, thank you. If you're following the advice of your local health agency, thank you. We all need to do this. We all need to help each other. Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. I'm off my soapbox now. I hope you're all doing okay. I will be back next week with a crochet catch-up video, and then the following week with another floss tube. I hope to see you then. Bye now.